but I would not have sexual relations with that woman. And I'm your host, Democrat Liz. And this week I want to know, would you date someone of the opposite political politics? I'm going to have to say, not only would I date somebody of opposite political politics, but I would marry them. In fact, for the past 5 years, I have been married to an ardently handsome and ardently Republican man. Things are just fabulous. It's not like every election season our living room turns into the West Bank and we eyes each other suspiciously across the room holding pillows like hand grenades and mumbling threats like you wouldn't know good health care if it hit you in the back of the face. Our relationship's great. Just great. According to lemondrop.com, they report on a Zoosk poll that says 87% of you agree with me, which means 87% of you are brilliant, that you would date somebody of the opposite political politics. I'm not sure if this is because Americans are just so open-minded, we can look beyond the issues into the soul of someone, or if it's simply because we all care more about what cell phones we have than who's representing us at the nation's capital, but enough with the cynicism. Continuing on, Lemon Drop also reports that you all think that the most dateable candidates are Gavin Newsom, good choice, and Sarah Palin. Well, that's quite a step for women's rights because, you know, when a mother of 5 becomes the most dateable political candidate, then that means that Octomom is now the hottest woman in America. And the New York Times has a real heartwarming story about a couple, Kristen Mannion and H.P. Goldfield, who've been married for 13 years, and they are of opposite politics. She and her husband, while they have fights, she understands that her husband is not responsible for the leadership of his party and not responsible for what happens in other people's offices and administrations. And I say, is she sure about that? Because I'm married to a Republican and I'm pretty sure he is the man. Well, I hold him responsible for basically everything, and I think it's pretty much fair considering I do the majority of the dishes. So she should just maybe reconsider. And over on Your Tango, Steph Auteri has some great tips for how to date your political opposite. And one of her tips is that when discussing politics, look through the issues and through the other person's eyes. My husband and I, we both agree that there's a problem with the environment. Now, we disagree on what the cause of those problems are. For example, I think the problem with the environment is global warming, and he thinks that too many liberals are running around creating havoc and free love and what have you. But the important thing is we can find common ground. Finally, on YouTube, Katie Lazarus takes to the couch and asks some people, is dating somebody of the opposite politics a good idea?
Can you date someone from a different ethnicity, religion, background, spirituality?
I think ethnicity and religion, yes. Political views, I'd say no. I don't really think you should date outside of your political party. I accidentally dated a closet Republican, and it was really upsetting.
Like, I'm pro-education. Could I date someone who's anti-education?
I think that if you find someone that agrees with you on everything, then it'll be very boring.
I think ultimately, the only thing that really matters is that you're on the same page on values in raising a child.
And now it's time for your comments. Dark Princess 1012. Actually, I don't think Edward Cullen is the creepiest stalker pedophile in literature, although Romeo has got to be in the top 10. I mean, there's so many others. There's Pip, there's Mr. Rochester, there's Scarlett O'Hara, and then there's Jay Gatsby, and some people think that's a love story. I think it's a creep story. You know, I think Waldo from Where's Waldo. Corduroy the bear? Something's up with him. Winnie the Pooh? Creepy the Pooh. Alright, let me know. Would you date somebody of the opposite political politics? And if you want more insightful punditry from yours truly, head on over to facebook.com/YourTango. And this is Liz saying, don't blame me. I voted for Jefferson Davis.